Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel today. My name is Christian and today we're here to talk about one of the most important records of my life. The album that got me into rock music, the first show I ever saw, the first album I ever bought. This record is Infinity on High by Fall Out Boy, and I've been wanting to talk about this album for a long time, didn't quite know when to do it, and I just thought, fuck it, why not do it now? Start a new series called Albums Revisited and go through some of my favorite albums of my childhood and records that I still love to this day. This album is absolutely one of the most overlooked records of the 2000s. It did so much for music at the time. So much of what happened to pop punk after that album came out is due to this album, from heading more in a pop direction while still keeping those punk roots in there that a lot of bands started to copy, and then even bands like 5 Seconds of Summer who just go in the complete pop direction. I think it's due to the shift that we saw on this record. And so let's get into some of the tracks on this record. Thriller is a perfect opener, Jay-Z leading it in, and then this post-hardcore type breakdown going into this really poppy verse, and just there's so many different influences on that one song that it is the perfect indication of what this entire record is. There's really heavy moments on this record. There's really poppy moments on this record. There's ballads on this record. There's just a bit of everything on this record, and it's just a great record. The two singles that they brought out for this record, Thanks for the Memories and This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arm Race, as well as The Takeover the Breaks Over, three great songs. And although This Ain't a Scene is probably one of my least favorite on the record, it's still a brilliant song. This is a 10 out of 10 record. The Takeover the Breaks Over is the first song I ever learnt to play on guitar, and so I have a lot of my ability on the guitar to thank for this record for putting me straight into rock music and getting me to learn all those kind of techniques. And this record's just been instrumental in everything that's happened to me over the last been nearly 10 years. Hum Hallelujah is a perfect song. It's probably my favorite on the record, although it's really hard to choose a favorite. It was a song that instantly got me, and when I saw them perform it live, it just translated perfectly. Carpal Tunnel of Love is the heaviest song on the record. It is brutal. Pete screaming on this song. The music video is hilarious with Happy Tree Friends in there, and just a brilliantly heavy and brutal song. Bang the Doldrums is another great song, really upbeat, fun, catchy, and just a great song that is just, you can't really fault anything on this record, which is just such a good thing to say about a record. And as I said, this goes into more of a pop direction, but they're still great rock songs, which is something that I think is missing from a lot of pop punk bands today. There's so much experimentation in sound. As I said before, there's so much variation on this record that there's something for everybody on here. Everybody plays incredibly on this record. The guitar playing's at top notch, the drumming is next level, and then Patrick's singing is, between this and Follow You Do, probably the best he's sounded ever. And it's such a shame that they've gone to the direction they're going now, but just such a good vocal performance on this record. And although they weren't perfect live at this time, they were more that on Follow You Do. Just a great performance from everyone in this band. The production is clean as well, but it doesn't feel overproduced. And that's another issue in modern pop punk, where everything sounds really overproduced. This is kind of the balance between being produced and still having that grit to it. And everything is really well produced. I can't remember the name of the producer, but they did a really good job on this record. And the songs are just undeniable. That's the bottom line of this record. Every single song, you listen to it and you go, I can't fault it. And I'm sure people will dispute that with me, but for me, I can't find a fault in this record. This Ain't a Scene is my least favorite, just purely because of the tonality of the song and how it sounds, but it's a well-written song with really good lyrics and great melodies. And the last thing I'll say about this record is the lyricism is the best Fall Out Boy I've ever had, in my opinion. Pete is a great lyricist, and the lyrical content of their newer stuff hasn't been to quite the same level since Patrick started helping out with lyrics, but this is when Pete was at the peak of his powers, and just some great lyrics on this record. I don't really have much more to say about this record. It's a great record. If you haven't listened to it, you have to. If you've been introduced to Fall Out Boy with their last two records, forget about them. Go back, start with this one, then go to Folie à Deux, which was one that not a lot of people like for some reason, but it's a brilliant artistic record that is just so good. And my favorite record, Take This to Your Grave, you have to check that one out as well. And of course, everything that they've ever done from Under the Cork Tree is a brilliant record as well. The last two for me, not so much, but those 4 records in a row are some of the best 4 records a band could ever put out. They're all 4 10 out of 10 records, and this is just one of them. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to let you go and listen to the record. Thanks for watching my videos today. Please hit subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Fresh Currents.